Hi, my name's TJ McCarty with Native Notify, and today we're going to talk about how to add push notifications to your React Native Expo app using Native Notify. So the first thing you'll want to do is make sure you have React Native Expo managed workflow app open. The next step would be to go to nativenotify.com to go ahead and create an account. And that should take you to a screen like this. So your first step will be create an app. You can go ahead and name your app whatever you want. I'm going to name it Native Notify Tutorial. And we'll just go ahead and follow these steps together to add Native Notify to your Expo app. These instructions teach you how to add push notifications to your Expo app. So step one is copy this npm install, go to your terminal. Go ahead and install those. Okay, step two, in your app.js file, make sure these imports are at the top of your screen. So I'm going to go ahead and copy these. Come back here. I'll make sure those are at the top of my screen. I'll go ahead and delete the things, this line, because it's already up there. Okay. Step three. It says just under your import section, but before your function, paste this code. So what that, what that means is, so underneath this import section right here, but before your function. So it needs to go right here. It says to go ahead and copy this code and paste it there, right there. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the wrap view so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so should look something like this. Feel free to format this properly if you would like later. Okay, and let's follow the next step. Make sure you are using a hook function as your app function. Here is an example. So what that means is your app.js file function should look something like this. It should not look like a stateful component. The traditional way to create components was to use stateful components. But Expo's that'll get you hung up on Expo's push notification system, because all of these constants, notifications, stuff like that, this will only work in a hook function. So your function needs to look something like this, or push notifications won't work. If you're kind of new to hooks, it's super awesome, super simple. And under here, under step 4, there's a link you can go to, and it explains hooks to you. It's not complicated at all, super simple. Basically combines functions with stateful functions, so you can use state inside of a normal function. So yeah, here's all the details if you need help with that. All right, so moving on, we'll go to step 5. It says inside of your app function, at the top of your function, paste this code. So I'll go ahead and copy this code. And it's saying inside of this app function, but at the very top. So I'll go ahead and paste it right here. That's where it's supposed to go. Okay. Step 6. Inside of your app function, create a use effect function if you have not already. This is something with hooks. If you're used to stateful components, it's basically like component did mount. That's what use effect is. Use effect is kind of like the component did mount. And that's why you need to make sure it's imported up here. Use effect up here is imported from React. So anyway, it says to go ahead and create one of those if you haven't already. So I'll create one. And like I said, this is like component did mount. So once your page is rendered, your screen is rendered, this function fires. So just like component did mount. And again, there's a link under here that explains how it works. All right, so step 7, inside of your use effect function, paste this code. So I'll go ahead and copy this. Go inside of use effect, paste it. Make sure, just clean this up a little bit. Big thing here is make sure you do not change your app ID or your app token, or you'll break it. So we go ahead and add that in for you. So all you have to do is paste this code in here. And if you do use here, I'll go ahead and do it this way. If you do want to trigger some other function inside of use effect, maybe like down here or something, and you need to return something else other than this, you can do so down here. If you need to return something else to update the value of your return, you can do that here. But if you don't need to do that, you don't, you can just leave it as it is. So if this is an iOS only app, if this app is only for iOS, you're actually done. You're ready to send push notifications. Congratulations. If you also are using this as an Android app, if this is going to be an Android app as well, there's one extra step. So for Android specifically, you have to have a Firebase cloud messaging account for push notifications to work. It's just a requirement for Android, and we'll go ahead and set that up. It only takes about 5 minutes to set up. There's a link here to go to. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this link. And this explains how to set up Firebase for Android apps. So number 1 is go to Firebase console. So I'll go ahead and go to the console. Sorry, this is, okay, there we go. If I can move this, okay. Move this out of the way. Okay, so I've already created one, but actually I'll just go and create a new one. So your console.firebase.google.com will look something like this. You'll need to create an account if you haven't already, but once you create an account, it'll look like this. And we'll go ahead and just follow the instructions together. It says to create a new project. So I'll go ahead and click add project. Name it something. I'll create it. I'll name it native notify tutorial. Continue. This asks if you would like Google Analytics in your app. I'll just leave it there. It says choose an account. You have to have an account. I have one with Native Notify. Okay, and then it's creating your project for you. Well, let's doing that. We'll read what's the next step. So it says to follow the setup instructions. Make sure that the Android package name you enter is the same as the value of your Android.package in your app.json. So before we do that, let's make sure to add a value. So you'll want to go to this app.json file. And you'll want to give a name to your Android app. Again, I'm going about this as if I'm doing this for the first time. So I forgot to add in a name for your Android apps, but there should be a name here. Okay, so if you go to Expo's documentation, it says in your app.json file, there should be for Android, you should have a package. This is how you name your app for the Android App Store. If you're not familiar with that. So I'm going to go ahead and add that into my app.json file. I'm going to say native notify, and I'll just say app. So back to our tutorial. It says, so make sure that your Android package name you enter is the same as the value as your Android.package in your app.json. So after you've created this project, you can go to it. So let me actually go back to the dashboard. So here's my project, just created it. I'm going to go to it. And all we need to worry about is Android. So we'll go ahead and click this button, Android. All right, so your Android package name, this is where we need that information. Go ahead and paste that in there, whatever you named it. You can give it a nickname to remember it by. I'll just again put native notified tutorial. Click register app. All right, so this gets us to our next step. It says you need this Google service .json file. So just go ahead and download that. Okay. And you could just put this somewhere on your desktop. I'll go ahead and put it there because you'll need it in your app. So the next step is go ahead and copy this into your app.json file. So I'll just put that here. And in order for this to work, you need to have that Google-service JSON file that you just downloaded. It has to be in the root of your app. So I've put it over here. I'm just going to go ahead and drag it into there. There it is. The last step would be to copy this Expo build Android. Go back to your app terminal, paste that in there, click enter, and follow the directions. So once you've done that, congratulations, you're finished. You're ready to send push notifications. So here's a big thing first, though, before you send push notifications will not work on an emulator or a simulator. You have to use a phone. So the way you can test out push notifications is you first have to download the Expo Go app. If you use Expo, you ought to know about Expo Go. It's an app that you can get on the Android or the iOS App Store. Download that app. You need to open up your new app. You need to open up your app in Expo Go first so that Expo can create a token for you and your phone can be registered to your native Notify account. So you need to do that first before trying to send a push notification. So we'll just go ahead and do that together. The way you do that is you come back into your Expo app, type Expo start. This will open something like this in your browser. The next step is you'll need to open the Expo Go app on your phone, and you'll need to scan this code here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And once you do that, you should see your Expo app open up on your phone. You'll need to wait for it to completely open until you see some words on the screen. You'll see open up app.js or whatever your app says. It just needs to be completely open. Once it's open, you're ready to send push notifications. So we'll go back to Native Notify. The way you can go ahead and test out sending a push notification to yourself is you can go to the top of this screen, click send a push notification. Go ahead and type a title. This is my title. Type a message. This is my message. Click send push notification. It's going to ask, are you sure you're ready? This is going to be sent out immediately to all of your subscribers. I'm going to click OK. And there we go. I've already gotten it on my phone. There we go. There it is. Anyway, sorry. The thing I have on is making it disappear. But anyway, it should pop up on your phone. Sometimes it takes around 5 minutes or so, depending on how busy Google and Apple servers are at the time. We're having to communicate with their servers to have them send the push notification to your phone for you. So it says on here it could take up to 30 minutes. Usually it's there within 5 minutes. Mine was there, as you saw, immediately. So sometimes it happens right away, but it can take up to 30 minutes. Just so you know, if it doesn't appear right away, doesn't mean it's not working. Wait 5-10 minutes, it should pop up. And that's it. That's how Native Notify works. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. I've put my email in the description. It's tj@nativenotify.com. Feel free to email me with any questions that you have. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. If you do sign up, I'd be happy to personally set up a video chat with you to walk through setting this up in your app. If you ever come across any problems, I'm a developer. I can help you through that as well. And yeah, so that's Native Notify.